all the special Doki Doki Literature Club side stories. And today I'm going to be doing the plus one. Begin side story, yes. Haven't seen anything of this. This is all new to me. That's a new location. Hi, Carter. This is the old basic location. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I missed the debate club. I knew it would be so difficult to start a new club. I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. That's sort of sad. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody's into literature enough to pick it over their own club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on the desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is so smoothing. Hello? Hey, I was right, it's Sayori. Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I never do this. Is this the napping club? No, this is... Monica pauses suddenly, embarrassed to admit that she is in fact Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that she is, in fact, the literature club. This is the literature club. Yay! Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a sec. I'm super sorry. It was so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize. I do that all the time. Oh. Did I miss the club meeting? Where's everybody? Well, about that, this is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a second. If it's just you, that means that I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Yeah, that's a great qualification. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, sorry. What's your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really, really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was only joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Okay, you're saying why isn't Sayori dead? This is before Natsuki, Yuri, and the MC actually get to the literature club. This is the days of where Monica just started the club, when no one was joining because it's literature. And then Sayori, the first one to show interest after Monica, gets the title Vice President. And that's why Sayori is still alive, because that's the future. Also, that got deleted. I mean, I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry, this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing, and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? It's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica? That's such a cool name. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say that didn't work. Monica glances at the filter on her desk and realizes that her... flyer. Okay, not filter, flyer. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes her name is already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everybody happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug. Then let's go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, a hug is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy? Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirit is lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. Yeah, for once Monica's actually nice. Not trying to kill the MC. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori, to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room, but she finds herself waiting no longer. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining. No, that can't be it. She was so excited to join yesterday, but I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the doors. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry, I'm late. It's okay. Welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet onto Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step, so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. There's more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can bend to you. If you can trust me, follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait. No, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that side yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting club members. Oh, this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now, do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are. Ah, really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything that I was happy with. I like always reading it again a week after, and I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's the dramatic version of me. Doesn't agree with the person I am. I want to be myself, to be. Or something like that. Aww. You should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing problems we write and stuff like that. Oh yeah? I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's a poem, right? Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more illustrative vision of the club. I'm so glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident. Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brain is stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Sorry, that's terrible. Anyways, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes? I was hungry. Sayori, it's always the cupcakes. She does that in the main game too if you choose her path. She talks about using cupcakes to recruit new members for the festival. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when you should have the chance to give people cupcakes, you know, like when they come into the club? What if we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kind of people, you know? Wrong kind? People who would come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Aw, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like, go around the school and find people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books be doing it for an assignment or something? How would we know if they're just reading for fun? Well, we could ask them. but then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I'll definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful! I never said you weren't. We just need to think. What would we tell people while handing them out? I want to be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I suppose that's my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, so Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random pedestrian. Or passerby, not pedestrian. Passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. I feel like that's a bit referenced by the main character. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Yeah, like I said, the main character. Okay, what if we, like, do group reading and discuss it together? I would probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyways. You need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you a chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day-to-day talking to your friends. I mean, like, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? Like, it's like an inmate. Yeah? How do we get across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Intimidate, I can't say that, with us. Okay, intimate, thank you. Be intimate with us. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, what is it? I forgot all my things in the classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed? But we're in... never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'll forget if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take 1 second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way to your heart? Join the literature club. Write a way into your heart. Oh, that's just lame. Monica! Startled me. Sorry, it's just something important. On the way to the classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry up and recruit her. Wait, are you sure they're just not doing homework? Well, I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. I'm gonna bet that's Yuri. Monica grabs her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way. This way! You don't have to run. I'm guessing it's the new location, like with the stairs and the vending machine. I'm guessing Yuri's gonna be sitting there absorbed into her book. Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See, in here. Monica peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably just scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom, and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room. Sayori feeling rather accomplished, and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end up in a better spot from where they began. Well, I would say that today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayori peers at the sheet of paper Monica was jotting down on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself, join the literature club, right the way into your heart? That's so cute. I thought it was a little bit over dramatic, but Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What? What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. Seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything. So I don't think it's bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of deviating from that. The vision. What's the vision? Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart. I think that's what you're trying to do. This is to make the club that you need most out of anyone. Well, you're one who knows yourself best, of course, but I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods at the Sayori nods, and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner, and the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me, you're the president. Well, in that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright. I just want some time alone. In that case, Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck! Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the clubroom. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need most. I don't get it. I just want to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that, because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower, plucked from the ground. The color, the scent. It's so pretty in the air. Every day I pluck some flowers, as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment, yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, 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 every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're going to die. And you too. No, I didn't mean to skip that. Oh, I can't go back and read the last bit. What the... Wait, Sayori? Oh, and it just ended right there. Well, I'm smart, so I can go... Become the flower. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. I can't read that. Beckons to me. I can't read that. I mean, you can read that for yourself, but that's too small for me. And that unlocked Trust 2. Begin story, yes. And another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's, today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings. I am letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president am I for that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordless Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the whole club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You didn't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. The massages her forehead, struggling through the fresh paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also so painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, don't blame yourself for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think that I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in ways that normally don't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want it to be there for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves. Like that. Sayori smiles gently. I promise if you promise. Unable to help, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, It's time to proceed with the club activities. So, wanna teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine. We have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, do I have to fulfill my end of the day promise? I mean, I do have to I do have to fulfill my end of the day promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholarship or anything. That's fine. I think I just need some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You have to start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And when you can turn your feelings into a little story, you can get your feelings down first, and then make it sound pretty later. It's like, it's not like building a railroad. It's where you go from one end to another. It's more like a college where you find all the things you want to put in, and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least, that's how I do it. It's not the only way, but it's a really good way not to get stuck at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out "you idiot" after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is, you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites "you idiot." She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down that I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise of jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking. But after a while, Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheets of paper begin to look fairly lively, prepped with all the random thoughts. Phew. Monica looks up and down her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. I can tell you how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I have to try really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. with you. Sorry, Beams. I'll stop here, but we have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so pricky about the language. Yay, let's do it! Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monica's the first one to the club room, with her printout of a revised literature club filter, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this were the filter we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one, but the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I have to feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to her previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpointing, and delivering them with convincing. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. This is suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself. For real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stops for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Adjacent desk, or however you say that. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard on the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sari takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sari glazes at Monica's with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. That's not good. Sayori, this is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So, if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sari takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is, like, screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sari must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Where Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually push that were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori deliberately breathes. Sayori deliberate breathes can be heard over the AC. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So, I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help. Everyone else is happy. But that's terrible. And that's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everybody would worry about me and ask what's wrong. I know that, because it used to be like that. Sari pauses. want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. What? I skipped. I'm worried. Pardon me. It's so much easier to help and smile. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everybody knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. It's like whenever I'm not smiling, everybody would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How do you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people, too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself. It just made me feel like I could stay in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have... It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection, as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, and I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you'd like. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. That's a new special scene. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that of all the days that have passed, this is one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks in through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm so worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. It just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness, clutching at her throat and chest. I just don't want to have these thoughts. I just want them to go away. And now, I'm making you put up with me. I just want it time. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants what Sayori needs right now. So she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. This is just being your friend. Monika offers a few words of comfort, but she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experienced are ones that don't belong, and Monika can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value, and your other friends do too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and also brought us happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monika feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monika letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah, well, of course, it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me so tired. And hungry. Well, I wouldn't make you do any work today if you're not up to it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that's definitely the one thing that makes me happy. Monika smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of a door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Aw, really? It ends there? I'm guessing it's Yuri. Yeah, even right here, I'm guessing understanding is part 2. So that means that next is Yuri. And then Natsuki. And then more Natsuki. And then more Yuri. And then Natsuki and Yuri together. Well, it's actually an hour. That was pretty long. Well, that's it for this vid. Bye, guys!